Good morning, East Lower School. Today's Thursday, October 5th. Today's a B-Day. My name is Chase Ward, and this is my co-host,
Mr. Crandall.
One of the greatest benefits of East being in partnership with the University of Rochester is that people view this project as a sustainable option. It's a school of kids who are hopeful, kids who demand and deserve a respectful environment. And because of that, community members have been responsive.
Make it a great day or not, East Lower School. The choice is yours.
Have a great day, East Lower School.
2 minutes, let's wrap it up.
I actually came into East in October of '89 as a substitute teacher, and I was able to get a long-term position.
What did we say they all had in common at the beginning of the lesson?
I have a great love for East, a lot of connections, a lot of families, a lot of students who I've taught and worked with and continue to work with. So it's a lot of history here.
I graduated from East High School in 2005. I've always been very proud of where I went to school. So it was very exciting for me when I graduated and went to college. I knew that I wanted to be in urban education, and specifically if I could come back here, that would be the dream.
All right, let's go. Everybody have a seat, please.
So my story arc is starting at East High School. I graduated in '71, and I've been teaching for 19 years here now. I love teaching. I love working with the kids, and I love this school. This school is very special to me.
Matter is classified as a mixture if there are different types of particles present.
When you tell people where you work, the first question they ask you is, how are you guys doing? Because the community is concerned about us. They want us to succeed.
I feel a sense of community because this is like our home, kind of. We all work together, and our teachers help us become successful in life, and they try and get us ready for high school and college.
I often get asked the question, how do we know if East is working? There are some early indicators that our students are doing extremely well, and they're responding to this new structure.
You're going to set the stage for the entire audience and the rest of the actors.
Our suspension rate has dropped nearly 85% over 3 years. You look at the rates of fights or minor altercations. The year before we came, that number was close to 230. Within 2 years, it dropped to 68. That's about a 70% drop in fights.
So we're going to think about, what do we look like when we are our best self?
When we talk about restorative practices in school, it's about doing things with people as opposed to them. Because once we get to know each other and really learn from each other, the likelihood of conflict is lessened.
Oftentimes, if students have a conflict, we bring them together to circle about it. But that's one example. So we also go into classrooms and we do community building circles and we do celebratory circles. So restorative practice is really about relationship building.
We do circles, which gets us more close to each other. Sometimes we do circles to help us know each other's names, know what culture we are and how we have similarities and then our differences.
It really is helpful to students to have meaningful relationships with staff that's not necessarily connected to a class.
Our approach to discipline is vastly different than it used to be. A young man had come to one of the staff and said, listen, I have a beef with this kid. We're going to fight. I don't want to fight. Can we sit down and talk about this? That is a change. That is, you can imagine what kind of sea change that is.
Ever since U of R took over, I've seen a big change. Like, there's been less drama. I feel like we're learning more than we used to. And they give us like more options, like career classes. So they give us those options to earn extra credits.
And then where do I find the 24?
The y-axis.
All right, on the y-axis, perfect.
We knew from our data that kids who did not move from grades 9 to 10 had about an 80% chance of dropping out before the end of high school. The number of kids who moved from grades 9 to 10, first year was 48%. The second year, that number climbed to 80%. And so when you have 80% of your kids on track, you're better able to predict how they'll succeed 3 years later at that pivotal year, senior year.
When we actually create a system that expects kids to be successful in spite of their circumstances, the trauma they've experienced, they can go on to realize their goals and dreams. You have to raise the bar, not lower it. And that's something that we have to make sure that we're doing consistently.
I had a lot of people telling me that 9th grade year was a very important year. I started thinking about it, plus I got younger siblings. So I know that eventually they'll look up to me, and I don't want them to follow the same path that I did, which is why I changed my life around.
You never really know if you have an impact on a student's life. And some of the ones that come back to see you, you're surprised by because you thought, that's the last kid I would have expected I had an impact on. But Those are the moments that make my day.
This project is so ingrained in the fabric of this community that it will sustain itself. It's truly the community's school, and that's what it should be.